everybody, Al Bernstein here with another one of our quick hit videos, and this one is actually the beginning of our series of videos that will be countdown to Mayweather Pacquiao. And as we move on over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be bringing you different topics that relate to this fight and covering just about every possible area of this mega match that I will be privileged to announce on May 2nd on pay-per-view. Let me bring in our producer of the Hangout Boxing Hangouts and Quick Hits, Dan Parks, because we want to tell you about something very special that's associated with these quick hits. And Dan, that is that we are going to be giving some prizes away by asking trivia questions. And we're going to be giving away posters to the fight, 11 by 17 in a very nice sheath, and you'll show it there. And I have signed every one of these posters, so they're personally signed by me, as you can see. Yes, that is my handwriting. I'm qualified to be a doctor. That's my only qualification. And we also have coasters. We have some great prizes that are all related to the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight. You were kind of like a flight attendant there, where I'm talking about it and you're showing it like you're demonstrating the seatbelt operation. And yeah, and it's fun that we're doing this, and people are going to be able to answer the trivia question at the end of this video and put their comments down, and we'll talk about more of that when we get close to it. But fun to give some prizes away.
It's a blast, and you know, I'm thrilled we got some of these things ahead of time. And besides the posters, we have the coasters. I've also got a big sweatshirt, which is going to be awesome. It'll be one of our main ones to finish off with. And I think, again, everybody's so jacked up and ready for this fight, so this will add a little bit of extra fun into the whole thing.
Very nice. So stick with us through this video, and at the end, you'll get the trivia question that you can answer, and we'll explain to you at that point how you can answer it on the comment section underneath the video. Well, let's begin talking about one aspect of this big fight, and that is the trainers. It is fascinating that we have two very different men, two very different situations involving the trainers of these two great fighters. I usually like to take, when I look at trainers, I try to look at them not in terms of their whole body of work or all the fighters that they train, but I like to take them individually when we're talking about them with fights, because how they do with that specific fighter, I think, is really what you want to look at. And that's part of what makes this particular fight so interesting, because both of the men that train the major fighters in this great fight, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, both of the people that train them are very effective at training that specific person. Now, let's begin by looking at Freddie Roach, who is the trainer of Manny Pacquiao. Freddie was a fighter who I have known, a person I've known for almost 30 years. And why is that? Well, maybe even more than 30. Because when Freddie was boxing, I announced a number of his fights on ESPN. You may remember some of the, a couple of the wars he had with Tommy Cordova and also Louis Burke. Freddie was a very good fighter, did not become a world champion, but he was in exciting fights. And then later, after he retired, learned at the feet of Eddie Futch and all of Eddie's associates. And Freddie Roach eventually became a top-notch trainer. Now, the man he is working with now is the man who has been his signature client, if you will, and that is Manny Pacquiao. Freddie Roach has been with him for many, many years. And one of the most important things about what Roach and Pacquiao have accomplished is that they've moved up so much in weight classes. And more than that, they have altered Manny Pacquiao's style. As Pacquiao started to move up in weight, when he got to 135 pounds to try for the lightweight title, he and Roach had made a very conscious decision to alter his style. At the beginning of his fighting career, Manny Pacquiao was very much a power puncher who would throw the jab, the straight left hand, and try to knock you out and rely mostly on what was, to some degree, a somewhat one-dimensional attack, but one that was very effective. When they moved up, Roach and Pacquiao understood if he was going to face bigger men, he had to diversify his attack. And he became much more of a boxer-puncher. Through more combinations, they added a right hook to the arsenal, and I believe really altered Manny Pacquiao's style, and that's a big part of the reason why he was successful as he moved up in weight classes. So as a duo, these two have functioned very, very well together. In terms of their personalities, they are a good fit. And in terms of, I think, what they've accomplished in the ring, especially in terms of adapting, they have been a good fit there as well. Now let's turn our attention to the other side of the aisle, and that is Floyd Mayweather Sr., who trains, of course, his son, Floyd Mayweather. Now, for Floyd Sr., who was a superb boxer himself years and years ago, had his career cut short when he had to go to prison, and when he came out, his son Floyd Mayweather Jr. was already in the midst of his professional career and had been trained by Roger Mayweather, Floyd's brother. But then when Floyd Sr. Got with Floyd Jr., they formed a partnership that was really excellent. And Roger Mayweather did a very good job with Floyd. But Floyd Mayweather, I think, is known as a defensive specialist to a great extent. And while Floyd Mayweather Jr. was already an excellent defensive fighter and has been thought of as one of the best defensive fighters of his generation or any generation, I think Floyd Mayweather Sr. has played a big role in making sure that those defensive skills are appropriate and making sure that Floyd Mayweather Jr. as a defensive fighter gets the job done, which is not to suggest they're not concerned with offense. They are. Now, both of these trainers have done a great job with their specific fighter, but they've done it differently. And the differences between the two men could not be more stark outside the ring and the way they interact with each other or don't interact with each other. Some of the trash talking that has gone back and forth already in this fight between Freddie Roach and Floyd Mayweather Sr., some of it is to sell this fight. And I can definitely sense it from Freddie Roach's standpoint. Freddie, who for the most part until recent years has not been very outspoken, but has been more so in the last 3 or 4 years, I feel some business involved. But some of the trash talking between the two of them, I think, is real. Freddie Roach has won a number of Trainer of the Year awards. He has been inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And there is the sense in my mind from Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s viewpoint and from the Mayweather camp in general that Floyd Mayweather Sr. has not gotten his due in terms of awards and honors. And you can make a case for that because he's been training, one of the best fighters pound for pound in the last couple of decades, and arguably, certainly right now, the best pound for pound fighter. And it's like when a movie wins Best Picture and the director isn't even nominated. You say to yourself, well, how did that movie get made if the director isn't one of the best 5 or 6 directors? And so you can make the case in terms of Floyd Mayweather Sr. maybe not getting quite the attention he deserves. What I love about this is that, of course, we have this mega match between Pacquiao and Mayweather, but I think the side battle between these two renowned trainers adds a lot of spice to this matchup. So we'll be wanting to watch as the days get closer and as we get to the final press conference and we continue closer to this fight. This is going to be one of the battles we watch most carefully. And of course, on fight night, we'll want to see which trainer is forced to adapt or forced to tell his fighter to adapt in the ring and how that will play itself out. Now, we promised you at the beginning of this video that we were going to talk a little bit about how you could win a nice prize. And we're going to do that right now because we're going to tell you the trivia question that you need to answer There's the poster that with my signature on it that you can win by answering this trivia question. Now, in this day and age of the internet, where you can find out almost anything, we had to look a little bit to give you a question that was going to tax you in terms of your ability to answer a question. And the great Dan Parks has done so. Let's take a look at the trivia question that you have to answer. What was Manny Pacquiao's first job? What was his first job? I urge you to be careful in your deliberations of this and do your due diligence. And when you have the answer to that question, and we're going to give you 24 hours from the time this video is posted to go find this information and put it on the reply portion underneath, or the comment portion underneath this video, and you'll have a chance to win. And what we'll do is take all the winning entries, which we assume there may well be more than one, and we will put them in a hat, pick out a winner, and then Dan Parks will find a way to get in touch with you, and you will one of you will win the poster. And so, Dan, the clock is ticking for all the folks that want to answer this question, and they need to do a little digging, don't they, to make sure they get this one right.
Well, as you said, Al, in this day and age, it's easy to find a lot of things, and we're going to try to find questions for you during this 2 weeks before the fight that'll make you look a little bit harder. And so, good luck, everyone, and we'll see how many winners we end up with.
Yes, so that'll be our first giveaway as we head into this, and as we move on in the coming days, we're going to continue to do these quick hit videos on different topics surrounding the countdown to Mayweather Pacquiao.